There is smoke coming out the top of this. Fuck.
Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm very excited that I'm going to be installing a new Blueprint 347 into my 66 Mustang. I've never done this before, so this is definitely not going to be a how-to video. I've watched a lot of other YouTubers, so I think I can do this. I think it's going to be hopefully fairly easy. It should be a pretty simple swap because they're both the same block, and a lot of the parts I think are going to be able to be interchanged between the two of them. I'm excited but nervous, but I think it's going to go okay. I have the 289 in here that's already sold, so I have to get this out so I can get that ready for the person who bought it from me. I've got my 347 in there, and to start, I'm gonna have to swap over the oil pans because they're different. The whole 347 came out of a Fox body era Mustang. I have no idea how long this is gonna take me. Hopefully not too long, because I love driving my car. So here we go. You guys here playing? Nice. There's the new motor.
A new motor, Daddy?
Yeah, that's our new motor. Are you excited, Eddie? This makes me so nervous having this engine hang like this, but I bought this and this doesn't work because the clutch is installed and I didn't think of that. So I'm very carefully getting up underneath here. I removed the dual sump oil pan. It's actually right there behind me. So I removed that because I have to put in a front sump for the 66. This came out of a Fox body Mustang, so they needed the double sump. I also had to change the pickup right there. That's a rear sump. I had to install this front sump pickup. I just scraped off all of the old gasket. Got a new gasket in the car. Gonna hopefully get this thing up here before that gives away. That would be absolutely terrible. So enough talking. I need to get this thing together. Okay, I've got all the old gasket off. Hopefully it's good enough. There's still a couple little spots, but I think it's good enough. And I've got these retainers in place right here for the gasket and the pan. But it looks like it is good to go and clean enough to get the new pan on. Okay, so there's the old pan. I got the new pan on. It's all torqued down. Let's pray there's no leaks. My first time ever doing this. So now what I'm working on is the thermostat. I just bought a new 195 degree thermostat. I've done a lot of research and a lot of people think you should put a lower thermostat in, but that actually doesn't cycle the fluid correctly. So I've got a 195, which is what Ford recommends and what they send these cars out with from the factory. I just cleaned this off and I've got a new gasket to put on. So I'll go ahead and get that done and I'll be one step closer to getting this in the car. All right, Caleb. We're gonna pump it and get it out. Might be getting hard.
Why?
Okay, hold on. Now let's pull this way a little bit. All right, go for it. I'm gonna set it over there. Whoa! Okay, do you want to put that underneath the engine? The big one. Yep. Go, buddy. There we go. All right, Mike, hit the red button again. Sweet. I gotta clean that up, pull the transmission out, get the new engine in. Hey guys, well, a lot of time has passed since that last clip when my 347 was just sitting over there in my workshop. I actually now have the 347 in the Mustang. Yes, it has been a lot of work. It's been more work than I thought. I thought a lot of this was just gonna be cut and paste. I thought it was gonna be pretty simple because both of them are essentially a 302 block. I have learned a lot over the last few weeks. I haven't filmed a lot because I have full custody of my kids. Well, pretty much full custody of my kids, so I'm with them all the time, and I haven't really had a whole lot of time to work on it. And when I do, it's just a few minutes here and there, and I haven't really wasted any time filming because I'm trying to get some stuff done. But I have a little bit of a break this weekend, so I'm actually going to show you some of the stuff I have going on and some of the differences that I have faced with this 347 stroker that's going into this compared to the 289 that was in here. So I guess I'll flip the camera around and show you what I've been doing. So here we are. You might notice right off the bat, I got new valve covers. So that's pretty cool. That was a little extra expense that I wasn't really planning for, but I think they look great. I really wanted to go with a black and red scheme. I do want to replace this cable, make that a red one. Obviously, that's minor. It's too long anyway, so that'll help the red and black theme. I went with March Performance pulleys and brackets. I did a ton of research. I had no idea there was going to be so much differences with pulleys and brackets and all this stuff. I decided to upgrade the alternator as well. This is a 3G alternator, one of the latest generation alternators, and it swaps out. It's a one-wire system compared to the original alternator, so I'm going to actually have to do some wiring on this one. I found a great web page that explains exactly how to wire all of this. I will have a link for that in the description below if I remember. Hopefully I do, and in case you wanted to do that, you can do that as well. I should also say, the reason I haven't filmed absolutely everything is because there's already a guy on YouTube who does all of this stuff as well. His name is Kruse. I'll have a link to his channel down below. I've relied on a bunch of his videos to get a lot of this stuff done as well. He's great, and I watch his videos all the time. So check that out if you need input on how to do a lot of this stuff. Let's see, what else did I do? New dipstick. So this motor is a Blueprint motor. And when I got it, another one of the differences that I didn't think about was the dipstick. So all of these Mustangs, because it has a front sump oil pan, which is what I was replacing in the last clip, you have to have a front dipstick right here. These things are stupid expensive. So I wasn't really budgeting for that. But you could spend $100 on one of these freaking dipsticks. I got this one on eBay, I think for 40 or 50 bucks, I think it was. Thankfully, Blueprint ships these with a hole already in the front timing cover. I did have to take the oil pan off though to tap it out. So unfortunately I had to do that, but at least I didn't have to drill through, because that's another little hack you can do, is you can drill right where that is down there. Because the other option would be replacing the entire timing chain cover, which would mean removing all of this stuff, and I definitely did not want to have to do that. The water pump, pulleys, everything would have to come out. That would have been a pain in the ass. But thankfully, Blueprint ships all of their engines with plugs in both locations. So back here, there was a dipstick for a Fox body oil pan. When I replaced the oil pan, I just pulled that one out. I took the plug out of here and put it in there with some RTV silicone sealant and pounded that in there. So dipstick situation is fixed. What else did I do? Oh, I put in my sending units. This is for oil pressure. That's for temperature right in there. Oh yeah, and I got an awesome new radiator. That was an enormous expense that I really wasn't planning on it, but I don't want to have heating issues being down here in the South. There's a lot of cool events that happen that involve a lot of traffic, and I don't want to be sitting in traffic and overheating. So I bought this Dewitt radiator. It was highly recommended by a couple of people online. This thing is $1,100. It's nuts. It comes with the fan. It's really high quality, very well built. It's a great unit. Funny enough, after spending all that money though, it doesn't come with a cap. And then I had a heck of a time trying to find a black cap because I didn't want a chrome or anything else to stick out on an already all black radiator. So I had to order one of those. That's coming still. While the hood was off, I took these, I blasted these down and primed them and painted them. They were silver and they were getting a little rusty. So I took the opportunity to get those all nice and cleaned up and painted. Small detail, but yeah, they were silver before, and it didn't even match the silver of the car. So got that all cleaned up. Oh, speaking of black, when I bought this alternator, I'll have a link in the description below for this as well. This alternator was on Amazon, and it was pictured with a black pulley. But when it arrived, it had this silver pulley, and it would have been fine. It really would have been fine, but I wanted black, so I bought this pulley for about 10 bucks on Amazon. I'll have the link in the description for this as well. It's actually slightly smaller than the pulley it came with too, which will give me a little better output. I think it was a 130 amp alternator, which really will help me a lot with these fans, or fan, because this fan is going to pull something like 22 amps, And when you think about it, when you're at idle, the RPMs are lower, and that's when you need the cooling the most because you're just sitting there in the traffic overheating. So I wanted a smaller pulley to give me some more amperage at lower RPM. So I put that on there myself as well. I ordered a belt for this one. I just took a piece of string, wrapped it all around, then marked it with black marker. Took it all out, measured it, and it looked like I needed a 55-inch serpentine belt. So I ordered one of those about a week ago on Amazon. I'll have a link for that as well. But it has just taken forever to get here, and it's time, man. I need to get that thing on there. But as for differences, other than the pan and all that stuff, the whole clutch system is different. So I'm going to need a cable clutch system from a Fox Body Mustang, I guess. I'm just researching that. I didn't anticipate that. But this one had a Z-bar system, which just involves actually, I can show it to you. It's right over here. The guy who bought my 289 motor is going to buy these from me. He's coming back out here. So it has this system, and this is the clutch engagement system. So not only can I not use this, I can't use the clutch fork because this is different. So I had to get a Fox Body clutch fork. So I had to replace all of this stuff. Wasn't anticipating that. I was trying to make this whole swap as close to a wash as possible, even though I know it was going to cost me some money. But as of right now, by selling the other motor, buying this motor, and buying all the parts, I am into it for about $3,000, $3,500, something like that. But I've taken liberties. I mean, I've had upgrades. I mean, I didn't need to buy the valve covers. I think those were about $200, and I didn't have to get the upgraded alternator. I could have gone cheaper on the brackets, so I could have saved a little bit of money. All right, for some more differences, under here, I've got the new upgraded transmission. So this new transmission, it's still a T5, but I had it reworked, completely re-geared, and I bought this whole thing complete from a guy. I'll have his info in the description as well. Awesome, awesome guy, a banker who loves cars and loves working on transmissions on the side. This thing was about, I think it was $1,750. And then I needed a different bell housing. Well, I sold the other bell housing with the other motor. So I bought the bell housing from him as well. He threw in the clutch fork. So up there is the new clutch fork that I needed for this whole new setup. If you follow my channel, you know I had a previous video about the first gear and how quickly you have to shift out of first gear. Well, this one has, I forget, 0.95 gear. I'll look into it, but it has a shorter gear, or is it taller? I always get confused. It's either shorter or taller, and it's going to be much more usable, so I'm super excited about that. But anyways, as for the difference, this is the mounting location for this transmission. And so you got this bracket right here. Somebody cut it at some point, but it goes up here, and it goes to the crossbar and mounts the transmission. One of the differences I didn't expect are the bolts that go up there and mount this bracket to the transmission. They're both T5 transmissions, but the bolts from my other setup were 13 millimeter, I believe, and this transmission needed 1/2 inch by 16 bolts. So I just had to go to the store and get some grade 8 from Rural King, which is a local store, and I love that they're blue, all their grade 8 bolts, so that's pretty neat. But yeah, so I had to go out there, get the bolts for that. Another difference is that this one, you can't see it from here, but up on the top, it has a neutral safety switch location. My other one did not have that. Well, I guess if it did, I didn't notice it. I'm pretty sure it didn't. So I had to drive around all over today, 4 different stores to try to find a 16 millimeter bolt for that. Actually, you might be able to kind of see it up there. Yeah. Thankfully, I was able to find one because bolts online would have cost me $20, $30 to have a single bolt shipped, but I found one for like $4. I think that is all for the differences that I've discovered so far, but those differences have cost me more money, unfortunately. Oh, there was also the radiator hoses. I mean, I kind of expected that, but with this engine, it has the output right here. So I got a radiator with this on the driver's side because the OEM radiator has the inputs and outputs both on the passenger side. So that was another reason I had to get another radiator. Somebody online thankfully told me which hose to get. The top hose have been more of a challenge to find. I think I finally found one that works. I went to a few different stores just looking at their hoses hanging up there, and I think that one, if I cut it right, is gonna just fit right here. I know that's kind of long-winded, but I've had a lot going on. But that at least catches you up to where I'm at right now. I was hoping to get this all done for a big car show tomorrow, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. The coolant I ordered isn't even here yet. Ordered that a couple weeks ago as well. It's a special blend that I saw online from another video that was recommended. So it looks like I'm not making that car show tomorrow, but hopefully soon. I can't wait to drive it. This 347 is going to be a monster. I'm sure I'm going to lose traction all the time. But I'm already thinking, even though I upgraded the rear pumpkin already, maybe I'll need to go with a 9-inch at some point. Hopefully not. I really don't think I will. But another pro, if I did that, would be I could switch to disc brakes for the rear. I guess I don't really need to go with a 9-inch for disc brakes. I can do spindles. I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. I just want to get it driving. And as long as I can stop, as long as it's safe, I'll be fine with the way it is. But that's where we're at for now. Stay tuned for more. Well, I've been making a lot of progress the last few nights. I've been up kind of late, and I got a lot of it all wired up. It still has to be kind of tucked away and cleaned up a little bit. I'm trying to get the transmission underneath all bolted up and get it all together, but the new transmission doesn't line up with the cross member. So I have to adjust it a little bit. And to adjust it, I'm pulling the whole motor and transmission forward just a little bit. And it still wasn't quite enough. The rubber boot, which I'll show you inside, was hitting the metal on the transmission tunnel for the opening for the shifter. So I've had to cut that open a little bit. I'll take you inside. I'll show you that now. So here we are inside. I've been using some different tools to cut this, and I'm basically just taking off about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, because this shifter boot can't go back any further with that piece of metal there. So if I notch this out, it's going to give me the clearance I need to get the bolts lined up on the cross member underneath. And I think I could show you guys that as well. It's right there. So you can see I just need to get like a 1/2 inch. So cutting the transmission tunnel should give me the clearance that I need. And then I'll be able to get the cross member up and get it bolted and drive shaft attached. So we're getting there. And just like that, got that all bolted in. Still have some work to do, but at least that's mounted. I do have to tighten the bolts for the motor mounts next. Hey guys, it's late at night. I'm out here tinkering. I thought I would try to get some stuff done while I had some free time without kids hanging on me. And I'm kind of at a standstill, unfortunately. I started filling the radiator fluid, but my cap hasn't shown up yet. Also, the hose that I bought doesn't work. It's close, but it's not quite there. So I'm gonna have to go back out and try to find another hose that's a little bit closer. So that sucks. I can't finish covering the wires because I ran out of flex loom. Not that I really want to cover the wires yet anyway until it's all up and running. I did install a new MSD box. So I got that right there. I did test it, so that is working. Oh, and I bought a serpentine belt for this thing. And I thought I was smart. I had a piece of rope. I wound it all around all of these pulleys. I made markings on the rope thinking I could just then lay the rope out and measure it. And that's how long of a serpentine belt that I needed. It came to 55 inches. So I ordered one on Amazon. Wasn't even close. So I double checked and yeah, it should have worked. I don't know. It's not even close. So I'm going to have to go out and try to find a different serpentine belt that's just probably a little bit longer so I can get that in here. What else? Oh my God, and the carb. I gotta show you guys the carb. I was bolting on the carb and 2 of the wings just fucking snapped. I can't believe it. I wasn't even wrenching on it hard. I was using my Milwaukee wrench over there and the battery is like almost dead, so it doesn't even have a lot of power. Really wasn't going on it hard and the wings snapped. So I'm kind of at a standstill. Well, good morning. Yes, you have crazy hair, Jim. I have been working on this car for much longer than I thought it was going to be. Unfortunately, I've had some issues. When I first went to start it up, I noticed there was fluid leaking from the timing chain cover. All up here, all on the top, on the right side. And that meant I had to take off the entire timing chain cover, the water pump, all of that stuff. It's my first time ever doing this. I've been so nervous. But I've got all the gaskets cleaned off. I think it's ready to go back on. I've been watching other people's YouTube videos on how to even do this. So I'm not gonna cover it because I am not an expert, but I think I know enough thanks to YouTube that I can put this all back together and hopefully have it leak free because I really don't want to do this a second time. I've had to get multiple gaskets, but I think I've got everything I need to get this back on here and maybe have it running this week. So I'm gonna cross my fingers, wish me luck. Here we go. Well, knock on wood, I think I got it. I got everything back together. There are no leaks. It was a lot of work. And I really don't want to have to do that again. But I was careful and I think I got it. I have the timing advanced 10 degrees for the initial timing. I've been learning a lot because I work on electric vehicles. I haven't really messed around with anything to this level. But I think I have it all. I did try to just crank it over, and for some reason, it just kept running and running and running. So I wonder if the starter is any good. It came with the engine. It ran and drove, started. It was fine. I don't know, but it is an old starter. So I'm wondering if maybe I need a new starter. But I'm going to give it a try again and see if we get this thing fired up for the very first time. All right, first start. We'll see what happens. Let the fuel pump prime. I see gas jetting in there. All right, here we are. You ready, Billy?
Let's do it.
All right, if I tell you to kill the battery, pull
All right,
the battery, pull it.
I'll yank her. Whoa! It popped.
Backfire out the...
It popped out the top. Yeah.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Ooh, that smells too.
Yeah, that doesn't smell nice.
Backfires are not good.
No. All right, round 2.
For round 2, I think I might have had the engine 180 degree out of phase. So I switched it around and hopefully this works.
Let's do it.
There's some gas. All
right. Moment of truth. Huh?
I might have to call somebody else. I'm not really sure. Alright, we'll call it for now. I'm going to have to do some more Googling. Well, it's still been a few weeks. I have not been able to get this thing running yet. I am nervous to keep pushing it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I've been watching YouTube videos and I don't think I'm really damaging anything. I'm really good at wiring. I'm pretty sure I got all of the wiring correct. I think my timing is correct. I don't really know anybody here in town that can come over and help me. So I'm still tinkering around with it. I got a new carb on it and my old air cleaner won't fit over this one. So I'm gonna have to order a new air cleaner. Oh man. I also had to buy some springs here for the throttle pedal. I gave those to the guy who bought the engine, so I didn't actually keep those. I also have to install this clutch kit still. It's right down there. That seems kind of complex. I've never done that before either, but that is the last thing I'll have to do to get the car actually drivable once I get it running. So that's it for now. Hopefully I get it up and running and maybe I even get it on film when I actually get it running. We'll see. Wish me luck, because I feel like I need it. Still working on it. I was up late last night watching YouTube videos, and I realized that my digital 6 Plus MSD has a retard function on startup that retards at 20 degrees. That just seems like a lot, especially when my initial timing is already retarded 11. So I turned that off, so it's no retard on startup. I was really crossing my fingers, hoping that would do it this morning, and it did not. So I had another Mustang guy come over, and we looked at it together, and I ended up testing the coil, which it had a perfectly fine coil when I bought it. It was dead. I tested it, and it was completely open, so there's no connection. And it's weird. I tested it last week, and it worked. So that's odd. I just had to go out and spend 70 bucks on a new coil. The other one's over here. I just now tried starting it up, hoping that would be it. Still didn't start up. I also purchased a little test light that's in line right here with cylinder number 1. I can't see it when I'm in there trying to start it. I could jumper over these, but I think somebody might be coming over tonight to help me out and he can watch that light and see if it turns on. Hopefully it does. Hopefully I have spark now that I have a new coil in there. I don't know why it wouldn't start again. I did test the coil after installing it and this one does work. But again, I tested the last one last week and it worked. So I think I have spark now. I definitely have fuel. Hopefully I'll find out some more tonight. I still have to get the clutch cable retrofit installed. I've never done that before. That's the kind of the story of this video. I've never done any of this before. And I'm hoping that isn't going to be too bad, but that's going to be the last thing that I need to do in order to actually drive the car once it all gets up and running again. And I can't wait to drive it. It's been a month since I've driven this car, but I'm really praying that one of these clips is going to be me firing up this engine. That'd be really sweet. Hey, I got it! smoking. Headers are smoking. The headers are smoking. And you know what? I did a boneheaded thing. Ooh, and it stalled. I reused the header gaskets. I thought they looked fine. I thought it would be okay. But I think all of that is leaking from the header gaskets. Unless the headers are just somehow got dirty. But hey, it started. Yay. I don't know why it died, but yay. Oh, and so what I did, I replaced the coil. Timing was off at that point. I could not get the distributor in perfect. I kept taking it out. I could not get it back in. I couldn't get it in the right perfect gear. So I just rotated all of the plug wires around one. So that way it was pointing at plug number 1. Because previously it was pointing at plug number 3 at top dead center. Well, I did about 11 degrees before top dead center. But okay. Looks like I might have to replace the gaskets, which fucking blows, but at least it started. The header gaskets are smoking. I think I need to replace those, unfortunately. I thought I could reuse them, and unfortunately I think I can't. Dumbass. What's my voltage here? Alternator is charging. Okay, so alternator is working. That belt is loose. I'll tighten that up. Making a lot of slipping noises. Alright, I'll have to fix that, but it's running. It sounds good. Yeah, it is working. It's running really smooth. I haven't adjusted the carb at all. I bought it from somebody on eBay who I guess refurbishes them right from Holly. I didn't have to change the jets or any of the screws at all. So that's working great. It did leak a little antifreeze because I had the cap open and it started heating up and expanded. It's smoking a little bit right there, but that's just the antifreeze I think that it's gotten onto the radiator. I have a 195 degree thermostat in it. I know it's higher than most people run, but from everything I've read, that's what Ford recommended, and that's what they sold actually in a lot of these vehicles. I wonder if it just opened up. So I'm letting it run to see the thermostat open up. Oh yeah, thermostat just got to about 218. So that should have opened. Oh, and the fan's kicked on. Ow, holy shit, that's hot. Yeah, that radiator was hot. Okay, so that is circulating fluid around. I'll shut it off here shortly, and then I'll have to top it off, I'm sure. Yes, I'll be able to drive my car again soon, and I cannot wait to feel the power of this 347. I'm dreading this clutch cable. I don't really know why, but I can't find any videos about it online, so I've no idea. The instructions have no pictures, so no pictures. It's all words, so I gotta actually follow instructions. But it's a cable. I mean, how hard can it be? Hopefully I can get it in there all right. But yeah, she's purring like a kitten. I do need to get some different springs for the throttle here. I've noticed that they have way too much slack in there. Yeah, I think I should pull it back a little bit more, and my pedal inside feels kind of soft and spongy. I think it needs better springs or maybe even a different setup. The smoking went away from the exhaust headers, so I think hopefully that's okay, because I really don't want to get in there and F with all those little bolts and trying to get in there, and yeah, I should have used new gaskets. I didn't realize how important it was. Again, never done this before. They looked fine. They weren't cut. They looked like they would work, but I realize now after researching this some more that the gaskets actually conform to the metal, so they could be off a little bit. But I think that's it for this video. I have no idea how long this is. This has been taking me a month, but I'll leave this right here. I'll probably make a separate video about installing the clutch cable because there's nothing online about how to do it or anything. and then I'll do another video of my first drive with my first impressions of this. So stay tuned, but damn, that sounds good. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.